أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما بقية الله الأعظم روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء. One of the great opportunities that we have, like all opportunities, and opportunity is something that is useful for us, that is essential for us. If we take advantage of it, then we get benefit. We win. We become successful. If we lose it, then we become miserable and depressed. And we get hurt. Whenever, for example, you had a chance to do something and then you didn't take advantage of the chance, what happens after that? Regret. We have in hadith that whenever an opportunity comes, whenever you have an opportunity that you don't make use of, it ends up in regret. You are going to regret it. For example, if you had the chance to go for an interview for a job that pays a lot of money, what happens? And you don't go. So when you see that you lost the job, you are going to feel regret. Same thing is with Ramadan. It's an opportunity. And when you go through Ramadan and you didn't take advantage of it, you don't make use of it, you feel regret. And a lot of times you see it's also with relationships. Parents, it's very important, right? You know, you will see that you'll go through life and that you grow up and you have children and you raise them up, but you never take the advantage of truly being involved in their life until it's too late. And when they grow up, they're gone. And then you'll be like, why didn't I take advantage? Why didn't I make use of the time when they were young? It's regret. And this is really regret that people have, and this regret is what makes people negative and brings out the negative energy in people. This is what happens to all of us. So one of the opportunities that we have, and the most important opportunity that we have right now, this very minute that we have, is called life. Life is an opportunity for all of us to take advantage of. How many of us are taking advantage of it? Tell me, all this life that you have lived, are you living the life, or is the life just going by and you are sleeping and waking up and going to sleep again? How many of us consciously are living our life and are in charge of our life? Doing the things that I want to do. Making sure that, you know what, this is something that has been given to me and I want to take advantage of this. How many of us have done that? For most people, they live their life. They're not leading a life. Life is living them. Life is just going by, and here they are, they sit, and at the end they wonder, what happened? How did I become old? In fact, what was it all about? And we end up not taking advantage. You know what happens after that? Regret. How many of us now want to go through life and end up having this regret? Middle-age crisis happens in many people because they have gone through the youth of their life. The youth of their life. Let me read an ayat for you, right? There's an ayat in the Quran where Allah says that I have made you in the best form. Ahsane taqweem. Ever heard that? before? Ahsan al-Taqweem. Which surah is that in? Surah Teen. Very good. In Surah Teen, you have this ayat that Allah says that I have made you in the best form. Ahsanut Taqweem. Do you ever wonder what Ahsanut Taqweem is? And what is Allah referring to? Ahsanut Taqweem, when Allah says this, what is He referring to? According to Hadith, in the words of the Imam, when Allah mentions Ahsanut Taqweem, He is referring to the youth of your life. When you were young, when you had power, He says Ahsanut Taqweem was that. Now obviously Allah is not saying Ahsanut Taqweem to someone who is, old, crippled, or baby. You will see that, wow, this is not Ahsanut. Ahsanut Taqweem means when you are strong, at your strongest level, in your young life, when you have all the abilities. That's what it means. So why is He saying that? He says, because this is an opportunity. He says, this is where you have power, you have ability, you have the chance to be whatever you want to be. And if that age passes, then it's truly regretful. But I'm just giving this idea to you right now to see what does it mean, life. We want to go through life. Tell me, how do you want to go through it? Do you want to go through life by just doing what everyone else does and then at the end wondering what happened? Or do you want to actually be successful? Be someone who has taken the reins of your life and have started living in it? A question that we all must answer for ourselves. So which one is it? You want to just life take you over and you live it and then you die? Or you want to actually know what it is, learn how to live it, and then do it the way that you want to do it? What would you think would be more exciting? Second one? Okay, good. Do you all agree that the second option is the better option for us? You all agree with that? Or you just want to just wake up, eat, do all the other chores in your day and then sleep and then do this again and again and again until you die? Because that will be really horrible, right? Because you know who else do that? Dogs. Dogs do that, right? They wake up in the morning, they go out and get something to eat, and they do the rest of the things that are necessary, and then they go to sleep. I mean, we have to be better than that. Monkeys also do that. We got to be better than monkeys. So, yes, option 2 is better. I agree also, but now I want you to understand this. How does that happen? What does it mean that you should live your life? Now let me give you a reference to what I'm talking about. There in ziyarat, many ziyarat and many du'as, you have read this sentence. In the dua of the prayer of Eid al-Fitr, you will read this sentence. When we make the dua, the kunut in Eid al-Fitr prayers, there's a sentence in there which says, Allahumma ij'alna mahyaya Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Right? Allah, make my life the life of Ahlul Bayt. Make my life the life of Ahlul Bayt. Make me live like how Ahlul Bayt lived. How they lived their life, I want to live the same life. Give me the tawfiq to do that. You see, this is very important. Understand, what are we saying? Meaning that Allah, I want to make something of this life. They made something of their life. They did it. They lived it. I don't want to let life go by. I want to live life. How do we do that? You see, this is a question that when I looked deeply into this question and into this issue, I saw that really, how unfortunate are we that we don't know the basics of who we are. We are going through everything and we don't know what life is. And without knowing what life is, everything that you think you know is meaningless. For example, let me say something that, obviously affects everyone. Imam Ali. What does Imam Ali have to do with our life? What does that mean? Everything. It's a good. What does that mean? Everything. What does he have to do with our life? I mean, really, look at Imam Ali, and when you look at our life, we believe in Imam Ali as the Imam. We believe that he's Masoom. We believe he's Babul Ilm. He has all the knowledge. Everything, we believe everything like that. But the issue is that what does it have to do? What is the relevance? The only way you will understand the relevance of Imam Ali in your life is to first understand what is life. Then you will know what Imam Ali means to you. Otherwise, you don't even know what Imam Ali means to you yet. What does Imam Hussein mean to you? What does he mean to you right now? He makes me cry, he makes me sad, he makes me grieve. Yes, all of that, true. He inspires me. Oh, great. He brings about love in me. He makes me a better person. Oh, yeah, all that is good. But what is his role in our life? Well, before you answer that, first of all, you need to answer another question. What is life? Then you will know where Imam Hussein fits in there. Okay, Imam Hussein fits in this part of my life because I know what life is. You see, without that you won't know. So this is what we want to know, life. It's the essential question, what is life? And that's what we want to discuss in these days that we are together in Ramadan. Because really, when I looked at it, everything that has to do with Islam, first has to be done in the sphere, in the vehicle, in the vessel of life. Without life, what is all this about? What is Tawheed? What is Allah? La ilaha illallah. Okay, what about La ilaha illallah? What about La ilaha illallah? What does it mean to you? I don't know. If you believe in La ilaha illallah, you go to Jannat. Okay, good. I mean, your answers are all good. But you are answering, it's like this. For example, you learn a formula in algebra, right? Let's say you got the answer, right? You know the answer. You don't know the steps. You just know the answer. So you're giving the answers because you heard it or you learned about it, that this is the answer, but you don't know how to reach there. That's what a lot of people end up doing, us, who listen to majalis and speeches. We get all the answers. We know the answer, but we don't know how to reach there. We don't know how to connect the dots. And if you don't know how to connect the dots, the answer is useless. Why? Because if anything changes, if any angle, if any perspective changes in the formula or in the example that's given to you or in the problem that's given to you, you don't know how to reach there. And that's the reason, first of all, you need to know how to connect the dots. And these dots that are being connected is called life. You need to know what life is. Right? You need to know what life is to know that. And we don't really, a lot of us, I don't know how many of you actually know the meaning of life. I'm not talking about the philosophical meaning of life, no. Right? If you go into that, then it's going to become, a useless endeavor. No, I'm talking about the practical life that I'm living. Right now, I'm living a life. We are all alive. We all accept that. Everyone knows that they're alive. How do you know you're alive? And this is a tangent I'm going on. How do you know you're alive? Good. That's the sign of physical life, right? It's a sign of physical life. But we do have in the hadith where Imam Ali has spoken about the walking dead. Have you heard about the walking dead? Not the show, I mean. The actual walking dead. Imam Ali speaks about it in Nahjul Balagha. He says that the abna'ud dunya, the children of dunya, or the followers of dunya, are the walking dead. They are dead people actually who you see walking around, moving around. So they have physical life, but they have no other life. That's all they have. So the issue is that, how do you know that you're alive in the real sense of the word? What is the sign of life? I'm just raising this tangent to you so I can raise questions, not give any answers, all right? And as I said, right, that we want to do this in a methodological way so that you clearly understand what is being said. So even if you are unable to attend the speeches every day because it's 30 days, right? But at least it's going to be recorded, right? We are recording it, right? He's chatting. Okay, good. All right. Salawat. So really, what is life? Is the question first we want to answer. Really go into details as to what is life. Not like philosophical discussions. I don't want to have those philosophical discussions about what life is. What did, I don't know, Socrates say about it? What did Aristotle say about it? No, we're not going into that. Just the real life that I'm living. I am alive right now. What is this? And how do I live it? That is the best way for me. That's what we want to reach, my friends. And then once you understand what life is, it's going to be something great. And it all starts with perspective. First, it starts with perspective. What is your view of life? Don't think about what you read in Hadith or what you read in the Quran or what you heard from ulama. Just erase all of that. Start off fresh, and I just want you to give me an honest answer of what do you think is life? What is the view of life? Just imagine that. Life to me is what? I'm sure you must have thought something about it because you're living it. You should have thought, right? Something about life. So what is your view of life? Okay, you know what? Let me give you another view. A view so you understand it. For example, Hazrat Nuh, Prophet Nuh. Now he's someone who lived a long life, right? I mean, 950 years is not a joking matter. That's a serious life there. 950 years he lived, close to a millennium. And if you live for 1,000 years, obviously you have lots of experiences, right? I mean, you have seen it all, done it all. Then you can actually say, been there and done that to everything you hear. And when you can say that to everything you hear, it means you're old. So the fact is that when you look at Hazrat Nuh, Prophet Nuh, right? When he was dying, they asked him, so how was it? What is life? I mean, really, what is life? I mean, you lived a longer life than we know anyone of. I mean, you're the one who lived it. So what is your view of life? And he described life in one word. He said, I look back at my life and it was like passing through a door. Passing through a door. How long does that take? Second. He says, it just went by too fast. In other words, he said, it went by too fast. What are you talking about? I have a hard time going through half an hour of the speech, Trying to stay away. You live for 950 years. And you're saying to me that it was like nothing? That's it? How can that be? Understand it, really. Perspective. What did he saw in life? What did he understand in life by which he says, this was nothing. It was like so fast. I wish I had more time. For what? What do you want to have more time for? Watch your great grandchildren grow up? You've seen them all. In fact, your whole lineage saw you. Imagine this. Really look at it. It's so important for us to understand that Noah, after living 950 years, says, wow, it went by too fast. Why? There's something he knows about life that we don't. That we have such a hard time going through even a small moment of it, and he goes through 950 years and says this was nothing. What did he understand of life that we fail to understand? See, that's what we want to know. And if we can know that, I assure you, your life will become so exciting. It becomes so exciting and so powerful and so inspiring that you will wish that you had more time. That you had more time. And that's what we want to understand in life. I just want to give an introduction, right, to what we are talking about. Because we want to live a life that is exciting and that we can really say that, wow, man, what am I missing out on? This is great. Instead of saying, when will it end? Most of us are like that, Subah hoti hai, sham hoti hai, umri bhi tamam hoti hai. I mean, why are we saying that? Why are we acting like that? Like, days are passing, I'm just going to die. What? That's it? Why? Because we don't know what life is. And that's what we want to know. If we know what life is, it's going to be something special. It is something special. And that's what we, alhamdulillah, in this month, with Allah's will and through His blessing, and we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah in this month that we are fasting, that we are going to the month of Ramadan, that you have regarded as sacred. And anyone who's fasting and going and observing and respecting it, you regard them as sacred. Allah, you have enlightened the people who obey your commands in this month. So Allah, give us the tawfiq in this month so that we can understand the important lessons that you want us to learn. Allah, we ask you that in this month that we are trying to obey you and that we are trying to fast and pray and make du'as, that every moment that we do this, inshallah, you give us the benefit of that manifold. Allah, we ask you that the wrongs that we have done, the mistakes that we have made, the weaknesses that we have, that in this month that you have promised forgiveness, please forgive our sins and wipe out our weaknesses and make us a better person. Allah, we ask you that collectively, all of us, that we who have started a venture in your name and in the name of your Ahlul Bayt, that every effort that we do put in there, Allah, make those efforts sincere. And for every step that we take, Allah, put your blessings in it. Because we look towards you. You are the only one that can give us and that can save us. And we submit to that. And we look towards you for every small little thing. And in this month that you have now set us free, and you have made us free from the clutches of shaitan, we ask you that give us the guidance, the tawfiq, the blessing, and all our families, so that we can observe your commands in the best way possible. Allah, we ask you, all those people who are ill or sick or in difficulty amongst us here, mu'mineen, please Allah, we ask you that you give them shifa, you give them cure, you relieve them of their difficulties. Oh Allah, we ask you that you hasten the reappearance of our Imam. You make us his helper when he comes. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.